Hi there, this is Mikey from Lost Treasure Design, and today we're going to be putting together this pretty cool like folio holder, large arch folio. So it comes with a template that you can print out. I've gone ahead and cut these pieces out, and you're going to want two of these 12 by 12 chipboards, or you could use really heavy cardstock if you don't have access to chipboards. I've gone ahead and I've traced. This is our main template, and you'll notice when you go to open the template in the PDF, which I will have a link to. You will notice that it says to print on a legal size paper. Most people don't have legal size printing capabilities, so I printed this to show you. I printed this on an 8.5 by 11. Then I measured from here down so that I had exactly 11.5 inches from the top of the arch down to the bottom. So I just added this extra inch that it didn't get printed, just so that that's one way to go about it if you don't have access to a legal size printer, or your printer doesn't do that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've traced this onto my chipboard here. I'm gonna move all my stuff out of the way here. So I've traced it onto here. I've also traced another one on here without this line. So we want one that's whole, one that will be splitting in half for the doors. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. And chipboard's kind of harder to cut out. It's not as it's thicker than normal cardstock, so you'll notice that I'll run my blade over, but it still isn't going to cut it all the way through. You can flip it over and line up your straight line with your blade, and then cut that off so that you get that nice clean edge. I'm going to do the same on this edge here. Pull it back, flip it over, line that up. That should give us our other piece. Save those. You'll use them another day. Not today, but another day. While I have this, I'm just gonna quickly get my other straight part of this cut. I like to use a straight a cutter for this part because I like this to be nice and straight, rather than me using my scissors and it not quite being perfectly straight. Okay, then save your extras. Okay, so now I've got that cut. I'm going to go ahead and use some scissors to cut around this top part. It is thicker, so it does require a little more pressure when you're cutting. I like to cut also on the inside of my line that I've drawn. That way I don't see any of that, the markings there. Or you could just use pencil and then erase, so you don't have that. Notice here that I didn't quite get that. Okay. So there's our back. You could save these if you wanted to mount like buttons to, like paper buttons. Give yourself a nice heavy backing. Okay. All right, so this is our main thing. So we're going to have this so that it opens up like that. So our next step is, in the template comes several pieces. You can print these off like I've done, and you've got this one here that comes with your 2 side spine cuts. I would say side spines, cut 2 with heavy cardstock attached to back and to front of the doors. I'm using the Gothic. I'm using one of our kits, which is like a Gothic witchcraft kit, and it comes with these already printed out. Well, not printed out, but these pieces already done up so that we don't have to like trace these out onto designer paper and then do it. Although you could just print this on the back of a designer paper and then cut it out, and you would have all your stuff for you. Or you can get the kit and do that. So these are going to attach here and here. Before I attach those, I'm going to just distress my edges first. I'll also hide some of that marker that I use to outline. If you were super concerned about maybe some sharp edges on this, you can always use a fine sandpaper and just sand off the sides so that it isn't sharp at all. But if you do a continuous cut, then you're less likely to have sharp edges. This is also helping to clean off some of the little fibers that come with it. Other things that I've also done when I created like this same door folio, I used our Elven Empire kit, and when I did that one, I used some copper paint and I painted just around the edges of this instead of having to chalk it. and it kind of gave it that fun like metal look, so that I had a little bit of metal work into the... Okay, that's done. Whoop. I have also chopped the edges of these as well. Okay, so I've got my back. Don't worry, that's going to get covered. I've also got these that say front, left, and right. Those will get covered as well. I'm going to open them up so that I can kind of see how this is going to lay out. I want to score on these score lines here. So grab my... cutting blade. Just gonna set it over there. That way I'm not tempted to cut my papers. Go ahead and fold these back. Oh, one thing, you can print these on the back of a designer paper, or you can do what I do and I just go ahead and this is just inking over. You could also ink this if you wanted on the sides. I do have it the image come over just a bit, but sometimes the way you lay it out might get seen, so ooh, that's a terrible sound. Oh, totally bent that. So this is a easy way to cover the white of the paper without having to print a whole sheet of ink. Okay, put those to the side. All right, I'm going to run some tape along these. I'm also going to be using glue. This is double side tape. Make sure that it's a nice right width. Ooh, that's sticky. probably like just took some of that off. You'll never know. Okay. All right. So I'm going to peel this off. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. Oh, I want to add some glue too. Tape is nice because it like it sticks right away. And you don't have to hold and count. But I think using glue really helps to make it last a little longer. Okay. So I want to put the edge of this just on the outside of that score line. And then again, I'm just going to put this on just on the other side of that score line. All right. So this will be our inside, and when it closes up, it'll look like that when we have these pieces off on the sides here. So we're going to have that down. Before I want to move on to attach some other things, we want to move on to these parts. So this is going to be kind of another opening. I traced it onto another piece of chipboard. I would recommend using just heavy cardstock for this. I traced the wrong one when I was tracing, and then I was like, oh, I'll just use it anyway. And my chipboard is not as thick as not too terribly thick, so I think it'll work just fine. And it might make it a little more sturdy, but you don't have to have this on chipboard. Okay, so you'll notice these are slightly smaller than your outside door, because these are going to close in like that, like a little extra door. Okay, I'm just going to ink these real quick. This part is optional, but I just think it really makes it look a lot better to have these edges darker. And it doesn't really take that much longer. Kind of made a mess there. Okay, so in your kit, of course, this is totally printed cockeyed, but this were shifted over. On here, on this page, you'll see cut 2 with heavy cardstock. It's this long, thinner one. You're going to print 2 of those, or just cut 2 of those out of cardstock. Again, the kit that we have comes with those already printed. Well, the ink is already printed on it, which is those there. But again, just like I did with these, I'm going to, I think I want to score these first. I normally score before I cut. I'm not sure why I'm not sure why I didn't score before I cut, because it's so much easier to score things when it's a bigger piece of paper than trying to line up these little pieces. You do want to make sure that when you print these spines that you are using a heavy cardstock, or you could put a piece of, like, if you want it to last forever, you could put a piece of duct tape over the back of that, and that would also help it from tearing, since these will be opened and closed quite a bit. Just use strong materials and you'll be all right. Of course, that moves the second I lay it down. All right. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did with that other spine. I'm just gonna I could totally redip that, but I was just trying to get every last bit of ink off of the pad. Oh my goodness. Did the same thing. Flipped it over. Okay. Alright. Put that over here. Now, I'm going to run some tape just like I did with this spine. Run tape along there, and then I'm also going to glue it. Sometimes it rips good for me, sometimes not. I do like to use a little straight edge tool like a scraper to help me cut my tape off, but I don't know what happened. I've got a house full of kids and they like to come in and get into all my stuff. I just like to make sure that the tape gets nice and down. Okay. All right, so these ones, you can look to see this says left. You want to make sure you're putting your left with your left door, your right with your right door. And you'll want the bottom to be lined up. You'll notice there'll be a gap up at the top, and that's okay. That's just how it's gonna be. Before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to flip it over this way, which means I want my right one to go first. I just want these to be the same. I'm going to glue this one down first. And again, just on the other side of that score line. And I'm just matching it up with the bottom of this door. Ugh. So sticky. I find I do things really awkwardly because I have to avoid getting my head in the camera and so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So if it looks a little awkward to you, it's because it is. All right, I'm just lining this up. All right, I'll move this over and we'll attach our left side. I'm going to leave one piece of tape on so I don't have to finagle with it sticking to my fingers. Okay, lining it up with the bottom, just on the other side of that score line. right. I'll just flip this over on this side. I'm just going to make sure that these got attached really well. Okay, so we have, whoa. So these will fold in like so, and then it will close in like so. Of course, we want to make sure that these are bending down. Okay, so then it will have more of a clean close. All right, we will do the closure for this in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to be covering these panels with their backgrounds. So this is your inside. So you can look for in your kit. If you don't have the kit, you can look for the templates that match up with them, and they will say on there what needs to go where. I'm trying to see if I can find one that's actually not cut off, but they all are. Like, it will say right door, left door, panel, and that's what you will use to attach these. So I've already printed out my panels. There are 2 of these. You can choose which one you like best for your front and for your back, because the bottom part of it is gonna get covered up. So whichever one you like best for the back, go ahead and reserve that. I'm going to go ahead and attach one of these here. And because this is my inside, I'm going to be attaching all these different pockets on top of this. So I want to move this one up so that I just have maybe like a little 1/8 of an inch around the edge of that. And I'm just going to use glue to attach this. Pull my sleeves up. All right. These are going to be for my outside door. These are my inlays here for my flap. So I'm going to cover one side here with that, and I'll cover the back side with this other one. So it will go like that. And same thing with this. We'll put the inside and then the back side. The back side is the door pieces so that it looks like a door when you close it. And then the other one is the decorative paper that you can find in the kit. Or again, cut your own with your own paper. So I had to take a quick break and print my panels for this because I forgot to print them. So, but we're not going to attach the inside of that yet because we want to add a closure to the front of this. So I'm going to go ahead and get these pieces glued down. Just want to make sure that I match up the right papers. Again, if you don't have the kit, you can use the template to cut the pieces that you need so that you could create this out of any paper project like that you have. Okay, so I'll flip this over now. I'm going to go ahead and attach the front door pieces right now because I want them to have time to dry so that I can add the closure. And when I do these, I want to make sure that this edge is as close without going over the edge of that as I can, so that when I close this, it actually doesn't, you don't see a big gap in between each of the door panels. And I'm just going to make sure that I have enough that it's balanced on the bottom and on the top when I glue that down. You could cut this piece a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but because it's set to print on 8.5 by 11 paper and the cover is 11.5, if you print it like with borderless, then it should cover a little bit more. Otherwise, you do have just a slight gap on the top and bottom. So I'm just gonna line that up. So that I don't have a funny looking gap. Like, I want to make sure these are lining up straight. Okay. All right, I'm okay with that now. So now I'll let those dry and I'll attach our inner side. You can attach the back piece as well. Just gonna grab that. And I'm just doing the same thing, kind of eyeballing so that my back and front match up. You do have this little bit of an arch up there, but I'm okay with that. I think it kind of looks cool. See that under part. Okay, right now we're going to attach our closure, and I've got these, it's kind of a fun little door hinge, little closure here, locks that way, then it has like a little pin that goes through and it locks down that way. What I want to do is I'm going to close this up. I'm going to determine where I want this to go. And you'll notice this is like sinking in. So I'm going to just grab something that'll help. Oh, I think that might be too fat. Find yourself something. I just used a thing of lace. And I'm just going to try to, and that's a little too thick. Let's see if maybe some tape. Oh, that's better. Okay. You could do this in several ways. If you really wanted to, you could tie a ribbon around this and have the ribbon coming out that way and have a tie closure. This is just kind of fun to have. I'm going to use my door here to level this out. And I want this edge of the hinge, I'm going to take this off so you can see better. This edge lined up with the edge of the panel. So I'm just going to hold this here and I'm going to mark it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that. With that, there. I'm just going to close this so that I have a nice, even, maybe, goodness. I'm going to line these all up. Okay, those are lined up. Make sure that this is now I know where I want to punch my holes. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. Find where my tools went. Where's my poker? I have a collection of pieces of thick foam. This is just one of those. They come in different packages and I save them. When they get all mangled, I throw them away and get a new one. But it's going to help me to raise this up so that I have a space behind that I can poke down. And I'm just finding my marks and pushing down with the pokey tool. I don't know what it's called. Oh, snap. I got lots of those pokey tools. All right. Let's see if I can fix that later. Okay. Now that I have those out, these here, you're going to want to get some mini brads. Looks like I'm going to need 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm going to start with this side. Make sure that it's going the right direction. I'm just going to line these up. Poke my brad through the hole. And then I'm just going to come on this side and open up the legs. And this is why I waited until the closure was in before I covered it with that panel. That way these little legs will get covered up. I'm just going to use a piece of tape over this, and I'll take this tape off right before I put the panel on there. That way those are just not getting in the way, and they'll kind of help secure it a little bit more. Okay, so that one's done. Now move on to this one. I like to come back in and just really press those open so that they lay nice and flat. I want to cover those, but I don't want to go too far over because my panel's not going to cover all the way to the edge. So, all right, test our seal. Awesome. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put our panels down. Okay, and these panels, again, they come with the Gothic Grimoire is what I believe this kit is called. Or you can use the template. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this tape off. Maybe.
You need your phone for this.
I'm recording, so you need to go out. Okay. Oh, there it is. I'm looking around for it. I'm busy, buddy.
What did you say?
I said I'm busy.
Well, Dad, I'm on your phone.
I'm using my phone.
What am I
You have a little glue come out, just make sure you wipe it off. And I like to use wet wipes, clean off my fingers. Okay, so our next step, now that we've got our door all closed, the outside's pretty much done, the next thing we could do is just add some more blingy stuff to it, but I'll let you guys come up with what you're going to do for yours. I'm going to start with the centerpiece here, and we've got several pockets that are going to layer on top of each other. This back pocket is going to be kind of like for a small journal, and then I have a folio that actually matches this kit. It comes all together. That folio, this is the pocket for that folio, and then there will be another pocket that goes on top of that for the center. So I'm going to go ahead and get these scored. Just move this off to the side. There is a line to score here, and a line there. We will play after I'm done, okay? A few minutes.
Dad, what is a few minutes? Okay. It's gotta be in the family room.
Okay. Just got a little bit of extra commentary behind the scenes. All right. I'd also recommend just adding a little bit of ink. I added just a little bit of ink to the tops of these. You're not going to really see it that much, but just in case when you're like pulling it back, I'd rather have it be a little darker than just stark white. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, our larger one. You'll want to make sure that this is printed on cardstock, just so that it has either print it or cut it out on cardstock, because it needs to be a little bit on the stiffer side so that it helps give you some support. Also, get these ones out. Okay. Over. I'm going to use both tape and glue. Again, the tape will help this to stick down right away, and then the glue will actually secure it a little bit better. And this, when you're doing like a pop-out pocket like this, it's a lot, it's a little better to use tape rather than having to hold the piece steady the whole time. I'm going to go ahead and put tape on these while I have this out. That way I don't have to move everything back. Use a tiny bit thinner tape for this one. I'm just cutting these edges of the tape off because I don't need them getting in my way. Okay, so I want to go ahead and open up Folio. We're going to be attaching this to the center. Normally I would tell you to attach, like, do the sides first and then the bottom, but because I want this to go in a specific spot along the bottom, I'm going to attach it first. Because I've notched these ends, it won't really play into it that much. I am just using the score line to kind of navigate where this is going to go. So I had the score line so that it's just above the bottom of the folio, and I'm using just an eyeball to make sure that it's centered between these 2 points. So that is down. My tape was a little put on there crooked, so I'm gonna just use my finger to guide these pieces over. All right, I'll be there in a minute. So now we're just going to flip it up this way, push down so that your pocket is flat along here. And this is where using tape comes in handy, because it will stick right where you put it. You won't have to try to hold it in place. And then you can come in with your tool and flatten it down. Okay. Now we'll go to this one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put this right at the bottom. If you feel like you need to put something inside here to kind of help support it, you can do that. And I think I just will. I'm going to just shove that roll of tape in there to give me a little bit more of a harder base to push down on. Flip this over. Again, I'm just going to line it up with the bottom of that. And then we can do the sides. Maybe. This is the hardest part for me. It's peeling the back off tape. Alright. Put that down. Oh, so sticky. Again, I want to make sure that this is pressed down so that when I put it down, it's nice and square. Okay, I can come in here and... Alright. So that is there. So the next thing is you can add this pocket there. If you don't want to put it there, you could put this pocket here. It doesn't matter, wherever you want to put it. I think I'm going to leave this how it is, because that's just pretty. And I'm going to put the pocket up here behind this one, which I should have probably done before. But, live and learn. Just removing the backing, running a little bit of glue. And this one I'm just going to fold down as best as I can. perhaps I should take my little thing out first. My support. Okay, now. This wouldn't be so awkward if I had decided to do this before I put the other things down. I'm not done yet. I know. I'm sorry.
You have to come right now because you'll pass. You pass the time.
Alright. So yeah, that doesn't have to be as awkward as I just made it. But now we have a pocket here, here, and here. This one for your folio, this one for your journal. Now, on the sides of these, we have some other pockets that come with the kit. If kind of move some things around. Hold on, bud. Rosie, lady can help you. All right, so I've got some different pockets that are going to
go to my museum, and I asked you.
Okay, just give me a minute more, all right? So these come with the kit, or they are also in the template. And really, you can decide where you're going to put things at. I designed it to have these longer, narrow ones here. And then we have these on this side with these little pockets in front. And then on this side we have this pocket. And I like to do them reversed. So you have the arch here and it's reversed the other way. If you would like, you could put it that way. It's up to you. It's your project. So I'm going to go ahead and just get these tacked down. We are almost done. I'm just going around the edge with these, and you can determine where you're going to stop with your glue on the corner here. And of course I need to score. Like 10 more minutes. then in the kit there are a few other things that I just did some extras in the kit because you do want, you know, places to put little things. They're just little things just to go with this kit that you could put here and there, okay? Fill it up however you want. I'm going to go ahead and finish this side, and then our folio holder will be done. And you can see what it looks like when it's all there. Okay, so again, I want these narrow pockets here. Oh, I did do that. I was gonna have this be opposite, but apparently I didn't do that. If your score line is not over enough to cover that white, just run your ink along the edge so that you can cover that up, and just makes it look a little nicer. Alright, so now pretty much everything that comes in the kit or the template has been completed. Now you can add other things, you know, all these different things that come with the kit here. You can put here and there, everywhere. I'm going to build the folio that actually matches this kit, and I'm going to use it to show you where the pockets go. I'll show you that in just a second. Alright, and here is the finished folio. And it is a chunky folio. I've gone ahead and filled it up with all the goodies that come with the Gothic Grimoire kit. We have all of our little pockets that we've created. All these little extras that come with the kit. And this is one of the covers, and I just filled it up with some sketch paper. So we got all these cards and envelopes. These are some of the larger spell cards. This is another pocket that I added that came with the kit as well. This is one of the journals. You'll see that each journal has little spells. Lots of places for you to write stuff too. This is the folio that it comes with. All these pockets and extras that come with the kit. All different little things. These are some more little spell cards. These are some more envelopes. This is another journal. And these are all different journal papers than the other ones. So there's lots and lots of pages for you. Little pockets. Alright, so that is the folio. And then of course we've also got some more things that it comes with here, some more spell cards. And that is our gigantic folio journal kit holder.